What is happening, everybody? How you guys doing? Andy, we got the music right now. Wow. But the what's going on, guys? Rolling Thunder, episode 45. We're doing Scrapyard Base Wars, and we've had a few last-minute changes. What's going on, fellas?
Yo, what's
Just
up?
chilling,
Yeah.
getting over a cold and working on my system. Can't complain. Had the week off from work, so got some work done, but feeling better. And we got a special guest below us here, Mr. Robert Hypothetical. What's going on, buddy?
Yo, what's going on? Chilling, hanging out, ready to see what the systems hold.
Yeah, we've taken in that we've had some technical difficulties last minute. It's supposed to be Douglas Bruce, DBZ Alternator is going to be the judge. He had some webcam difficulties, didn't work out. Then Casey, he got busy changing the water pump on his Tahoe to get in the slam crunch right now, so he's a little bit far behind. So last minute, like an hour ago, I was like, "Yo, Rob, you busy, bro?" And then plugged it on him. So we're gonna do Scrapyard Base Wars, episode 3. And for you guys that aren't familiar, we're giving nationwide coverage of Facebook Marketplace with a $1,000 budget, and you have to get 3 different systems: there's a trunk setup, a hatchback SUV setup. I'm sorry, like a hatchback style setup, and a shallow setup. And we got some pretty good entries tonight, man. So we've got my entries, Andy Dacey's, and Hi-Fi Vega here is taking over the entries for Casey, and he's gonna run with those. So hopefully got some good things followed up for him, or maybe a flop. You never know. But if you know, here for the last one, we got our butt smacked by old Douglas Bruce. So he's supposed to be the judge on this one, but it didn't work out.
Good old Brucey. It's okay. He's probably messing with some kind of O-scope right now. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, probably so. He actually told me he had some work to get done and to eat if we didn't have to have him on. So I'm like, you do you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, doing his own alternator company by himself practically. That's tough stuff, man. Tough
And he
stuff.
just bought a building too, man. He's killing it.
Mm-hmm. It's nice, man. That's just crazy. You know, it's like one buying a house, buying a building for your own business. That's a big step, man. It's awesome.
Oh, for sure. And speaking of that, we're taking in Andy. You're going to be giving demos at the Kicker booth at Slamology. You could think about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just got the tip saying that, hey, we're gonna have you at the Kicker booth, and I'm like, heck yeah, man, because either way I was gonna park close to them. I like hanging out with the guys; they're awesome. But you know as well as I do, both you guys do. So to hear that I was under the tent again, I was like, man, that is freaking awesome. All this work is just gonna pay off, and people are gonna find me a little bit easier under the tent. Plus, that's awesome, and it's gonna be cool, man. And side jagging, I got my system a hair louder, and I haven't metered it yet. I'm gonna do it Sunday. I was gonna wait until after Slam. I didn't want to take a chance, but I got rid of the cancellation. It sounds better, and who knows? It might be louder. If it's not, doesn't matter. Sounds good, man. I cannot complain. And we got the other Rob 2.0 here. What's going on, Rob?
What's going on? I finally got this thing back together.
Awesome.
Yeah, Rob. I don't know if you guys have met in person yet or on the thing yet. It's freaking sick. So sick. Moving forward on that, so I found out today too. I'll be across from you. I told you earlier, so I got invited today to give demos at the Slamology booth for Sky High Car Audio. So I'll have the excursion over in there. So that'll be freaking insane sick. I literally had so much energy today when I got that confirmation. I was like, I could run a solid mile straight right now. I'm just topped off, dude.
Pumped.
That's awesome, man. We'll be neighbors. We'll be neighbors.
I know. That way you won't be too far away.
Now I know Vega's going on a cruise, so he's not going to be a Slam. But maybe next year, Rob will come up with us. We all got to park.
I don't have nothing to park. I don't even have a subwoofer in my car, but I listen. I check them out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you can just sit in Cookie Monster or Scott's Built. You'll be all right.
Speaking of that, we got Rob's build. He's the Southern Thunder Car Audio sponsored vehicle, so we're taking tomorrow. He's coming up in the morning, and we're going to throw the XB315s versus used in his truck, the Assault 12K STX 6-channel, and some Neo Pros and Tweeters, I think, what we got lined up for the day. So it should be pretty sick.
That is
it's
awesome.
rowdy now. I can imagine it's going to be way more rowdy.
I bet you gain at least like a half a dB or a dB per sub on the with this power upgrade, which would be sick.
Let's see if we can't bust that 163 mark.
That'd be sick. You're gonna bust 60s before I do for sure. So, but I'm probably 60 in the back seat, maybe. I don't know. But so what we're gonna do this is we've got you've seen this before, guys. We've got the different entries. We'll go and buy them by category first. Again, we'll probably do the whatever I have queued up first over here. We've got the SUV setups, and then we'll do the trunk setup / hatchback. And the shallow setups after that, and we'll go over them. And hopefully, we've got plenty of people in the comments and chat. And I guess Rob, you can kind of go over the judging stuff if you want to. Since having entries, we're going to rate them on performance, collectability, and resell. And then so
Okay.
really whichever one adds up in that, and then we'll go from there. And then at the end we'll kind of get some people in the feedback in the chat and see which ones they think. So we'll go through them first, and then we'll take and go back and highlight each category, and then we'll talk about them through that. Sound good?
I'm down.
Sounds good to me.
All right, cool. So we're going to start this off again. Mr. Vega here is taking and representing Casey's choices here. This one, the first one going off, Rob, you broke the rules, man. You can't have a 1, 2, 3, 4 price number on the sub there, but it's a SCAR EVL ported box with a Sundown SCV 2000D and an 18-inch Pride sub. I feel like it's going to be a pretty good smacking used setup. And we don't know the price on the sub, but we're saying it's used. It'll probably be a pretty good deal.
Yeah. I mean, what that's like $1,000 sub, right?
Yeah, it's like $1,000 subwoofer, yeah.
Right. So
I'm sure it's not cheap, and it probably doesn't fit within the budget. But if somebody had that set up together for relatively less than what retail price would be, that'd be some banging setup right there.
that's like,
I mean, honestly, that box comes with a sub. Look at that. It comes with an Evo 18.
I guess he does actually.
So you don't bust. You stay in your class. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good, Rob. I mean, Casey.
Right.
I didn't think about that.
yeah.
So you'll only have. I should have just left the Pride out of that one. But yeah, so you got an EVL with a SCAR SCV 2000D. That should get down plenty though. Still, I mean, it's kind of a lot of power for that EVL, but you kind of be conservative with it. Probably good. It's got a lot of port area.
Yeah, that clean power though. You got more clean power, so it should be a little bit louder than what it normally would be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
That's
You know,
not bad.
nobody's gonna just feed it just what it needs. You're always gonna go extra.
No.
It's like I got the power. I'm gonna use. I paid for 2,000 watts. I'm gonna use 2,000 watts.
Oh sure. Yeah.
What do they call the extra stuff, Rob? Is it gravy? Is that what they call
Gravy,
it?
all the gravy.
So that's pretty good setup. That's pretty knocking on the door of a SUV setup here. We'll go to mine. I took in, I don't know the specs in the box, but I know it's 4 massive audio 15s in a big-ass ported box, a lot of port area, hopefully get some lows down, and a SFB 8000D. So for $1,000 on the money, I feel like that'd be a pretty loud setup for somebody. I'm not a hugest fan of the massive subwoofers. You know, they're just like an off-the-shelf driver, but, I mean, 4 15s and an 8K, I mean, that's a lot of freaking power right there.
I mean, I hope your box calculations are as good as your math there, Scott, but I think you busted in your class here, bud, but it's okay.
I'm $100 over, actually.
It's okay.
I can't even read.
Are those the massive hippos? Is that the type of...
It's the bigger ones, yeah.
I like those ones. You can get 155s out of those easily, but with that amp, maybe.
I'm gonna throw some shade on the box because I'm not sure how accurate that box is because they didn't even measure it out to get the speakers to sit in there.
Yeah.
They had them set them at an angle to fit. So
they're like, oh well, shit, we're gonna have to put them cockeyed.
so I don't know if you can trust their calculations on their thing.
I don't want to see the bracing on the inside, but it probably was like a 410 box or a 412, and they made it a 415 box. Because if you see those subs, they're on the lip, dude. They're right there at the edge.
Yeah, and they had to angle. I mean, listen, I've done it before myself. When I've miscalculated something like, oh, this is going to be in here a little bit different.
I've seen worse. Worse.
But somebody will still be beating with that setup. I feel like probably give a while.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got 8,000 watts, man. It's like, yeah.
You're just overcompensating efficiency for power, man. Raw power.
Yep.
The moving on to Andy's. He's got a what was Andy's SUV setup? I messed up. Oh man, where was it, Andy?
Keep going. Oh, you missed it.
Let me pull it off this.
You forgot to pull. You forgot to put it on there.
I'm terrible. So yeah, so we're gonna pull up Andy's next. You can probably assume it's gonna be tight.
Until I seen the 415s, I don't feel so confident now. But I mean, for the price, it's a nice setup, man. It's gonna be competitive.
The boom. He has 4 power acoustic Banff 12s and a JP23, and it's actually well under budget though.
Yeah.
Also,
absolutely,
that box was made for 212s, and they
for sure.
them in there. And it's like a bass box situation. Is it a down for sound profile?
I don't know. I've seen a few boxes like that. I don't like that orientation, but they do sell them like that, and it's like I don't know.
They sell them.
They do sell them like that. Very rare. Very rare. Yeah. That's why the port area is so big, just to make up for that. I've seen people throw them on top though, and when they were just for 2.
Yeah, I mean that's almost like piggyback ISOing, where you have them facing each other, one pushing the other out.
Yeah, like an isobaric. Yeah, I don't like that because everything's not loading the same. I'm sure it sounds okay on music, and just playing it, But right, I just saw the 412s with the box and the JP23. I mean, that's a good
beast.
combo.
It's gonna be a good
It's almost
yeah.
like my old set. That's almost like my old setup, but I had the boxes around the other set of subs. If you remember seeing mine, my box was set up like that, and it was all in one chamber.
It probably has good bandwidth. It probably loads off the hatch and the roof pretty well.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
Right.
They do.
Blends it.
Yeah, I prefer the subs up port to the
Back.
hatch
Yeah.
in that situation. But
Yeah.
it could work.
It's a smaller vehicle too. If I had to guess, I mean, it looks like he's pretty close to the back there. I'm not sure. I'm sure it gets
I
down.
love sub up
Yeah.
port back and hatchbacks, but I mean, if you're trying to load a lot of power, when you have the subs on the same plane as the port and everything
yeah.
kind of compresses back there, you can actually get more out of your woofers because of the compression from the trunk. When they're firing up, they have the whole vehicle to pretty much move, and there's more compression. At least in my applications, you know, I've tried it with a lot of watts. A lot of watts is where it makes a difference. For a musical setup, fire them up, port back, dude, all day. It sounds great. But I like to fire and port back and sub back if you're throwing a ton of juice to it, because they'll take it then.
I like it too. A lot of people don't think about their port when it comes to loading and where it's going to load if they want to meter and stuff too. You know, port subs up, port back. And normally I like to have a driver side port or a port that goes across the back of it. You know, it'll change the sound inside the vehicle where that thing's loading at. So if you do a driver side port, normally speaking, it's going to be loading in the passenger corner and vice versa. Or if you do, you know, all the way across, you know, you can get some good bandwidth all the way around the car where it doesn't sound funny or you move your head around and stuff.
Right. I never really noticed a big difference other than when you're metering and you
Sure.
have like the window up and you sit on the opposite side and you put the meter on the other side, or, you know, you're sitting on the opposite side and it's just a hair louder farther away from the port in a big vehicle. Now, small vehicle, I never tried it. That was the
sure.
Volvo days.
The when you're in a big boat like my Excursion or Rob's, you know, Suburban and stuff like that, or my Excursion, it seems totally different, man. Like, yeah, just turning the sub or the box can just make it sound totally different.
Yeah,
Just a
it's
little
weird.
bit.
Yeah.
Physics, science.
All right, so we're gonna do so we got Casey, Andy, then me here. So we've got Rob set up here for trunks. That's a pretty smacking setup. We've seen the SCV 2000 again, 2000D, and a pair of Sundown U's and a trunk or a hatchback. That's gonna boogie, dude. That's gonna be getting down. I'm assuming it's a ported box too. I think it's fair to assume then.
Yeah, it looks probably because it's definitely custom, and it looks like they stained it black, which actually doesn't look bad.
No, looks like there's just stickers on the top though. He left the top filament on the stickers, but yeah.
You know, I first did that with stickers in the early days. You know, my first kicker sticker, I left the thing on there, and then I realized that I have to peel that off, and the sticker will stay. I'm like, oh, it's one of those ones.
Yeah, I've had like two people. My brother was bad. He put stickers all over his Honda CRX and left the top layer on them. And I came out one day and peeled all the tops off. And the same thing, one of our Snap-on guys, he bought a brand new car and put like Atlanta United soccer stickers all over it and shit. And then I get there and I'm like, bro, you know this top layer peels off, right? And almost you'll see him after they've been on there for months. There's like water under them and shit. It's all bubbled up. Yeah. You're like, hey, bro, brand new sticker under here.
It's like, wow, would you look at that?
Yeah,
I know that amp setup right there. I don't mean to interrupt you, Rob, but that amp, so we all picked this amp for a setup, at least one of them. We didn't realize this. We don't let each other know until the show goes on, and that is a heck of a deal for those SAE or SCV 2Ks. Someone needs to buy those. There's two of them, what, $380 a piece? I mean, that's a deal. That's a deal.
They're getting highly sought after, man. You know, I probably have dealers call me daily or every other day, like, hey, can you get an SCV something? I'm like, bro, it's a discontinued amp, man. I wish I could. But yeah, so that's gonna be a pretty smacking setup. I think it's gonna be winning the trunk category so far.
Oh yeah.
It's compact too. The box looks fairly, you know, Sundown can take a pretty small box, so it's compact, and I think it'll do it.
The benefit of a U is a U is a Sundown SA but louder. Okay, so it can still play in a small box. You can even still use it in a sealed application, but it's everything that's great about an SA, just better with a U.
Makes sense.
We got Andy, the tried, true, proven Type R's, and again in the SCV 2000D. I bet you that amp is going to give the Type R's the freaking beat down, bro. That's going to be slinging on those Type R's.
Absolutely, man. But like you guys say, you can never have too much power. But you think they're 750R. It's literally the same coil size, around the same power handle as an L7. And
That's
right. Yeah,
No,
they'll take it for sure.
He's got the prices in the thing here. In all reality, Andy, from what it looks like, You could buy this guy's whole system actually here. He's got in the details for under the $1,000. You could have exactly. You could recoup some money.
What Infinity is that? He's got a PPI.
It's an old school. It's an old school. I'll send you it. He's got a couple, like the old PPI, but not the painty fancy one, but like definitely early 2K, late 90s. And then the Infinity is the reference series with the blue kind of pinstripe in the middle, and it's like silver. Another older one.
Yeah, those suck.
They're not that great.
I like the digital beta. Those were dope, but yeah. And then Kappas. But yeah.
Kappas are...
Type R's have been the same subwoofers since I was big into bass, and I only cared about bass. And they're the same today, so they get down.
I remember seeing the first generation Type R's like these, and they came out and I saw the ribbons around and everything like that. I'm like, this is freaking insane. Then it was like a year later they came out with the first gen Type X, and I'm like, Jesus, Murphy had like a carbon Kevlar tail and stuff.
Yeah, giggity.
Yeah.
I always wanted the Type X. I had Type R10s, man. The Type X, but I mean, how much more power can it handle? Maybe what, 1,000 RMS? I think they're rated at. So
they're really good sounding speakers, to be honest with you, man. I had the Type X coaxials in my doors forever, and they sounded amazing. But it's one of those things too. Once you get like that 150 plus club, like they're not keeping up with the bass. You know what I mean?
No.
Can't hear them.
You can watch them visibly push into the doors when bass would drop. They would just like shoot up, like the bottom of the mount.
Too damn loud. Too damn loud.
So I upped the ante on the trunk build a little bit. I don't know how I'm going to compete with Rob here with the 212s, but I found an XV215 in a box and an SAE 3000D for $1,000.
That ain't bad at all.
Yeah,
15 might be tight to fit in there, but I think you can get it in there, no problem. And that X is going to want every single watt from that amp, but it's going to sound good. Probably a 46 plus. You know what I mean? It's nice.
Yeah, ported box too.
Yep.
We've got, I think it would probably do pretty well. I don't think it's going to outperform the U's as far as physical output, but I think I'll probably get a little bit more low end extension that the U's wouldn't do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, can't go wrong with the X. I've never used a Sundown sub over the SA series. I've used every Sundown sub from SA down. But after SA, they kind of really don't speak to me to what I'm trying to do. And like for me, like an SA is
I need to send you a bit. I can mute that if you mind, Rob. But the CV6 and the new EP6s are like little. About as good as the first gen U. It's pretty insane.
Yeah. That's what I had. I had an SAV2.
Hell yeah. Well, you might have had a revision 2 because the V2 is just.
Maybe it was revision 2. Yeah, it was probably revision 2. Sorry.
Yeah, they get, for people that get confused, so you'll have a version and then you'll have revision. So it'll be like a SAV1, Rev 1, Rev 2, Rev 3. You can use all of those together. They've got small changes, whether it be terminals, terminal cups, miscellaneous small changes, they can be used together. So when you see different revisions, they can play together, but different versions, they're different subwoofers.
Okay, so it's like iPhone iOS 15.3 instead of 4 or something like that.
I've never had iOS. I've never had an Apple thing, so I don't know.
Oh no, you are an Android guy. Darn, I forgot about that.
I'm a peasant. We're moving to the shallow setups here. Obviously, we know Andy's going to come out swinging with a kicker. Right. Is that an L5 or an L7? I can't tell.
It's an L710, but it's in their preloaded in truck enclosure. I think it's got a little 4-inch arrow, or it's a slot. I forget which one it is. I think because that's the 2006 model-ish. And then paired with all the watch you ever need, the CX 1800, which is, it'll work. It'll work.
Dude, the CX 1800 is for the budget banger. A lot of people want to buy cheap amps, like super cheap, crappy amps. Like, look at the CXA 1800. If you're going to spend $300, don't buy the Shark 3500 like Andy said he had.
No.
Facebook dropped out.
I would have got around the same amount of power out of that Shark as I would with the CX 1800, which is it's a shame, but I mean, and it would have been more efficient. That's the sad part. But yeah.
We lost the Facebook feed. That's kind of crazy.
Did we really?
Yeah, it is what it is. We're still up on YouTube. But anyway, so yeah, is that a CXA 1800 one or one?
That's a CX 1800.1.
Yeah, it's a great amp. There'll be plenty of power for that.
Absolutely. I figured, with the truck, unless, Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
I said, that'd beat that 10 to pieces.
Yeah.
Do we hear a TV or something in the background? What's that noise?
Somebody eating something.
It's definitely, I muted Rob. It's Mike. It's Rob's. We got that.
What?
All right,
Where am I going?
I'll have him muted. There we go. Boom, boom. All right, cool. So I found a Sundown SD410, and again, I've pulled back out the SCV 2000D.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that SD4, I mean, that's probably like 4 times the amount of power you need for it. You could have got like a lot cheaper amp and then added something else to it. But I'm definitely down for the sub. Like that sub is a legit sound quality sub, and people overlook that. Like that's one that is not just for bass heads. It's not for people trying to bang only. It's a sound quality sub, no doubt.
Oh, for sure. And the cool thing on that one too is, man, believe it or not, people, A, yes, you're right, they sound amazing. B, I heard a wall with 10 of them in it, and it made me tap. I'm not even gonna joke, bro. I was like, what the fuck? He's like, it's only SDs. I'm like, bro, yeah, you throw 10 of them in a wall, it's gonna rattle your brain.
Now, does that have like the W roll surround, like the one that Jacob was starting to make for the other one?
It's a different surround, yeah. It's a different one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's similar in its properties. Just
I don't want to speak because I don't know the exact terms they use for, like, I want to say it's progressive or something along those lines of the spider. That way, depending on how it's pulling, the spaces are different in it to make it react and pull differently. But I don't know the science or the math or magic behind any of that stuff or
I know that it's a limited excursion because the SD series has always been more of a shallow focus. Where you can, the SD3 you could mount it didn't have back pole venting, so you could mount it very close to the back of the enclosure. It had an inverted surround so that it wasn't come out and hit your seat if you're had.
Oh yeah.
This one has like double surround, so it's limited excursion. For that way.
I gotcha.
Be more of a compact sub.
Damn, that's crazy. I like the design and the thought process on that one. That's cool.
Something about older, even just inverted surround subs, period, just do it for me. I think it just looks good.
Yeah.
Like, I see even mid-range speakers, inverted surround mid-range, and I'm like,
dude, I wish that like the SD3 with the inverted surround, but the Neo Mag, that'd be that'd be on right there.
Yeah, it's $500. I mean, it costs more than that retail, Ashy, and the box. It's not a cheap setup.
What kind of box is that?
Some kind of ghetto underseat thing for a Chevrolet full-size truck. Yeah,
it looks like someone tried to do a Bobby Gately, but then something happened.
Badly happened.
Ran out of Budweisers during.
Dude, we took in speaking of shallow boxes, we took in through. It was Casey's shop. It was like a Nissan Titan, and it had like a entry-level DD12 in it, and we like shoehorned the SA12 in it. And like I was like, "Hey, this box is going to blow apart," but B, it was like crazy louder than it was. We'll go forward on that. Boom. And then we got Rob's last entry. I think he's won the shallow one for sure. He's got a pair of JLs, and I forget those the W3, the TW3s. I want to say, I could be wrong. Whatever the shallow sub is, and then a box and an amp with it. So it's like a whole setup.
Dude, if it's the TW3s, I gotta say, that's close. That's close to my favorite sub setup for the shallow setup.
What'd you say? W3s? I don't know if those are
TW3s.
TW3.
Okay,
yeah, the shallow subs.
Might be.
So
what amp?
It says a 2500 watt Orion amp, so we can almost just assume it'd be the Z Street or the Cobalt or whatever it'd be.
It's not going to be the cool one. It's not going to be like the HCCA or the XTR. No.
But that's pretty good. So what we'll do is we'll go back to it, and we still have like 13 people in the chat. We can go ahead and go through these things. What are we gonna go saying on the? Let me pull that back up. Drop this out real quick because I exit out in one photo like a goober. And we'll review these things and take in it looks like a pretty good match on some of them. I think each one of us had our strong points in the setups, and I think it was a pretty good battle on that. Let me go back to it. I'm looking back for Andy's SUV setup that I closed out of like a knucklehead. What do you guys got going on this weekend while I'm pulling this crap back up?
What's that now?
So what do you guys got going on this weekend while I'm pulling this stuff back up?
Oh, I'm going to be having much fun.
Yeah, I forgot. Like I said, we already know what Rob's doing.
Yeah, Saturday we're taking everything out and putting all new in, and then Sunday I think we're going to work on yours and get your brace. I got to I got some welding to do and make some braces for the inside of your box, and hopefully we can get Casey subs in his box, getting ready for his amps to come in.
Yeah, we got a weekend worth of work lined up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pull these back up. Boom, boom, boom. So we've got Andy with the SUV setup with the JP23 and the 412s versus my 415s and the SFB 8K in the goofy box. And I pulled that over twice. Look at that. I fucked up again. I'm missing Casey's trunk setup. What did I do wrong? What was the trunk setup for Casey? What was it? I'm gonna pull it back.
Oh, wasn't the used? Was it the used?
It was the EVL.
Oh yeah, no.
EVL, right?
Boom.
We can leave it out.
Share screen.
Yeah.
We can leave that one out.
There we go.
Yeah.
So between these three, what are we saying, guys? Oh, wrong one again. I fucked up Andy's again. We know which one Andy's is.
Okay. My whole thing is you're supposed to be under $1,000 and drink, but one person's under $1,000 in there.
Touche.
We can't have we can't. I mean, you got to be. If it's $1,000, you got to be in the $1,000 range.
Touche. I'm $100 over, so I think Andy won that. Yeah.
I'll take it.
I would agree.
You can buy the EVL, but it'd be broken a week, and you're out in the money anyway. So might as well.
Yeah.
Go with that.
I had a dude. I'm
Win by default. Yes.
Right.
I bought an EVL 18, and I thought I was beaten, and I was driving to a lady friend's house, like a city over, and I was beating, and the sub just stopped and opened the trunk of the car, and it just rolling smoke out of the box, and I'm
Just
like,
vaping.
And the
Dude,
thing is, dude.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, like, I was like, gonna take this
Speaking
chick
of
out. I'm like, I'm gonna give her beans with my bass and all that stuff. And I get there, and the truck just reeks of voice coil, and it's like, and I'm like, this is not what I expected to happen.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Mm-hmm. Should have
That's
said
the worst.
there.
I would give it a shout out to the JP23 amp with the U12s. Like, if I could pick an amalgamation of the setups, the box with the two U12s on the JP23, gonna be doing your thing, man.
Yeah, and speaking of that, so we'll start off with your trunk build here. So you got the U12s and the SCV2K, and we've got that versus the Type Rs and the X. That's kind of a close one. I hate to say it, I know Andy, you're probably out of the lead on that one, buddy.
Yeah. You guys got me on some gigawatts there, and little Type Rs. I mean, they're efficient, but they're yesterday's
I don't
paper.
know. It's between the U's and the X for me. I think the U's will outdo the single X for the price.
So
I think the U's might sound a little bit
better.
Tighter. Yeah, they might be a
Tighter
little bit
bass, tighter bass, more bass. The X15.
You
I
can
feel
play
like
lower probably with the 15.
Right, it's just naturally going to want to play lower. It really isn't. It's a high excursion woofer compared to the U's. I mean, not that the U's can't, have some X Max, but that's what the X is kind of designed for.
I know that you can do 150s with some U12s, so it's in a trunk. So,
sure.
Yeah.
I would say if this was an XV3, it'd be a little bit different. All reality, so like the V3s were actually seriously, like literally, it's like their most musical SPL subwoofer they have. Yeah. The U is the king for the money, though. As far as generally, like out of Jacob Fuller's mouth, the U is like the most efficient SPL subwoofer on the market as far as output per watt into it. I think you might have won on that one, Rob. I think you got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one. That's one I'd go to. The X is awesome. You have more power.
X is awesome. It's my second favorite of the bunch.
Right.
I'm sorry about the Type R's.
Sorry, Andy. Yeah, the Type R's were super dope 10 years ago.
I know. I stay way under budget. I don't know. I don't see all this crazy equipment being for, I'm used to looking for kicker and, smaller stuff,
All on a budget.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he's like, let's do $25 shootouts, asshole. I'll win every time.
Yeah, let's
go.
Shop Goodwill.
I'll catch you at Goodwill,
I found everything,
Yeah.
I got my first home receiver. Dude, a lot of my first audio stuff was from Goodwill, dude. I got a pair of cabinets from Goodwill. I bought like a Yamaha receiver, those 80 watts by 2 at Goodwill, all that stuff. My grandma wanted to go to Goodwill, and I walked to the electronics place first, and I was like, Nana, I need this receiver. Like, I need this. And,
I do it to this day.
Man, if you thought old Marantz, the old Marantz receivers were bad, too.
Oh, yeah. Those were dope.
I never had that. I've had a bunch of Yamaha receivers. It's been the most of my go-to stuff is Yamaha receivers, and I just now got the Denon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that Marantz is something else, though.
Let's see. But yeah, going to shallow setup, the L7 and the CXA 1800 is going to be pretty loud, I feel like, for a shallow setup. It's going to fit on a lot of trucks. It's a lot of cone area.
Right, and it's a
That's
10.
a
It's
price.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't beat the price.
Yeah, $350.
Works.
You can actually resell that and get your money back and then a little more, I believe.
Yeah, I feel like the
Right, yeah.
resellability is good for sure. I mean, he could get more out of that if this guy had that together. I don't see why I couldn't sell $450, especially if he cleaned it really well.
Right. I know trucks are kind of hard to get loud because, you really just don't have that much space. But that's why they design, enclosures and stuff like that. And I don't see it too often. A lot of times I see like 212s and like a down firing or, behind a seat kind of build. But I feel like the best way to get a truck loud is like if you have like a full cab is under the seats firing in, like 410s or 4.8s and just 1.21 gigawatts. It'll be loud.
or a blow through.
At that point, then it's like, you might as well not even have a truck. I heard a really nice blow through this weekend at the show for the Cancer Society. My buddy Cody, he has exactly what you got, Scott. He's got the 615 Sundown ZV6, and I forget what amps he has. I think they're 3 teraamps. 8Ks or 5Ks right now. He's doing 57 or 58 at like 35, 36 hertz headrest. It's not bad. I think he's clamping quite a few power, but it's a nice musical setup and it's a blow through, literally in a pickup. But it's a pickup extended cab, not a quad cab, not a standard. So it's nice. But no trunk or bed.
Well, for the truck ones, I think there's every option has a good sub. I like the TW3s. I think the amp sucks for that setup. Maybe it's a little more expensive. I love the Sundown SD4, but it's expensive for a U sub. I would have to go kicker only because you got it so damn cheap.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing on that one.
Yeah.
So I'm at 880 pretty much. I'm at 880. You're at, what was it, 475, which is still a steal, though, to be honest with you. The 2 subs, the box, and the amp. That's still not a bad price.
I just throw the amp
that's
away.
not a bad price.
throw the amp away.
The amp is garbage.
So that's a pretty tough pick, though. But, I mean, it's the only one of the setup's got 2 subs. Now, don't get me wrong. As far as output, I feel like the SD in the right box is going to be really comparable, if not outdo the kicker. But it's in a garbage box, and
we have the power to do it. It's just a matter of how's that box going to treat it.
Sure.
All right.
I think it's a tie. I call it a tie. It's like, what do you want more? To build an enclosure or just something. It's a little bit cheaper. You don't have to do nothing to it. Just throw it in there. You're done. Or you got the 2 JLs, which is nice. And then you could get a nicer amp down the road or mix match with something else like we're doing here, and you still have budget to do so, and you'll have
you're right.
good quality.
You ain't got no money at 475.
Yeah, what does the chat say?
What's the chat say on this one? Because I would lean the kicker just because the cost. And, like, if there was a better amp with the TW3s, there you go. You've been eliminated.
that was the Casey, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the kicker might have won that one, to be honest with you. Yeah, for just the price. Because, again, you still have, $700 in your pocket. So, I mean, or $650, whatever it'd be.
I'm always looking for those top dollar, or should I say bottom dollar deals, because it's like, you might as well go buy new if you're paying anywhere over 60 to 70% MSRP, man. Here, I thought I was going to do terrible tonight, and somehow I guess I won 2 out of 3. I mean, that's awesome, man. I did not expect that walking in. I'm like, I can't find nothing. I can't find nothing right now.
I've just been browsing throughout the week on Facebook Marketplace, just screenshotting here and there, checking and finding stuff. I could have worked some probably better stuff together if I took and really tried, but I was like, I feel like we're going to do pretty good. We didn't have Douglas in here, so I figured I wasn't going to get mopped this week.
Yeah. Now, if he would have came in, different story. Totally different story.
Yeah, he's like, what do you mean I'm only judging this week? I'm like, bro, you fucking clean house this last episode. Like, it wasn't even fun.
Dude,
finding 18s for like $300.
If I picked my own setups, it would have been like everyone's like, dude, that's barely gonna do like 130. What are you doing here?
I've got this IMPP 10 in a box.
Yeah,
from 1995.
Yeah. But it's a super sick amp. Look at this.
Yeah, he's like, this thing's rated 25 watts per channel, bro. Let's see what it does. Dude, I got 49 watts, bro. That's overhead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, for real though, we'll have to get Rob on next time we do this in a month or so, or however, because this is what our 4th one we've done so far.
I think it's the 3rd one, and this one fell apart right before the end of it. It was still fun though.
Yeah, we'll have to have Rob come on as one of the contestants. We got to, man. I know Rob. He doesn't let on as much as he actually does know about SPL. I know he knows a thing or two.
It's been a long time, man. A long time.
I really like these episodes though because it really shows. I know I do new sales and we get new stuff and stuff like that. But I've had tons of used setups over the years, as everyone else, and used equipment they buy and purchase. And really, for the person that knows what they're looking for, and I know I've said this before, but if you know what you're looking for, you know how to test stuff, you get some pretty crazy deals on used equipment. Especially, and I'm not saying prey on people that are in a bad situation, but people get in a hard spot and they post up stuff cheap. Like I don't collect that many amps anymore. I still browse for Rockford Fosgate and stuff like that, like once a week to see if there's anything dumb priced,
Right.
So it's like it's pretty fun.
Yeah, you never know what might pop up, and it's like, well, it's only $100. Might as well go and pick it up before someone else does. But that's the joy of Facebook Marketplace, man. Sometimes you're the first one that answers and actually gets the product, or you're on a waiting list, or the person never freaking replies back to you.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're better off if they don't respond.
Touche.
Right.
Yeah.
I try not to even look for like brand specific stuff. I'll be like old amp or car amp, like stereo and stuff like that. And then you just find people that have like a bunch of stuff they're unloading at once. Like I've gotten lucky, and like I was meeting a guy for a Rockford T2000, and he had like, I'm not trying to downplay, he had like Planet Audio 4Ks and stuff like that in his truck, and he didn't know what the amp was. It just car amp was what it was listed under, and I got it for like $150. And like
you robbed that from him.
I was hooking it up in my truck. I was like, hey, let me test this before I take and give you the money for it. He's, oh yeah, sure, whatever. And he's like, how many watts is that thing anyway? And I'm like, oh, it's a T2000. It's a 2001. Oh, I got more than that, on each sub or whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like literally, that T2K would dunk on your Planet Audio 4K.
How do people like that end up with that equipment? Because they always have it. They always have something really nice, and they just throw all their shit on it, and it gets scratched.
It makes
to
you
hell.
sick, don't it? It makes you sick when you see it.
Like, what are you doing?
And
I've seen people with salt 12Ks. They're just throwing crap on top of it in their truck.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just like the guy that does 205 decibels, 212s, 210s, and 2.8s.
Oh, you know that guy too?
Yeah. He blows out his back window.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got kickers or something like that. Yeah.
We were talking crap about that on somebody's live stream. Oh, it was the sparked one or whatever. Yeah, like the guy that's like, I can't turn it up anymore. I'll bust a window or whatever. And you're like, come on.
I love
bro.
the guys that are like, I'm only on volume 7. It's like, well, what do you mean?
Is your gain
The
jack
gain's all the
too
way
high?
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it's volume 5 out of 25, and you're like, it's just fucking full tilt, and you're like,
I got a window break story for you guys. First window I ever seen broke. Guess where it was at? Wasn't at a show. It was at a Circuit City.
What?
Yes, they had an MTX demo vehicle.
They used to sell Solo X's at Circuit City.
Did they really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
They had 72 7000 series 10s, and then a bunch of the 8100 the 1000-watt MTX amps.
Damn.
In there. And yeah, they literally, when they first run it, I knew the installer there. We were just hanging out, and yeah, they busted the windshield before they got it replaced. That first time I'd ever seen it. Yeah.
I've only been in one vehicle, busted windshield. It was a Limitless ground pounder, and it was like a dust wind, like a sandstorm of glass as soon as it happened, bro. Just a wave coming through the air. And I'm like, oh my God, my eyes. Like, please nothing get in there.
Yeah, this one wasn't that cool. You could just see the crack, and then it stayed. It wasn't epic like you see sometimes nowadays,
Yeah, I never had one blow up in my face mid demo.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I could just imagine what you're feeling, Scott, with like, glass fragments kind of just flying everywhere.
Dust, yeah.
You need some glasses, bro. Protection.
Yeah. Then they'll put duct tape all over the windshield, and it's still a mist of glass particles flying everywhere.
Has anybody ever got anything stuck in like the window of the door where you see it flapping like this? Has anyone ever got something in there and like shattered? Have you ever seen it shattered?
Now,
I'm always
if you hold it, it will break. If you hold it will break. Mine hasn't broke yet, but mine flapped if I roll the windows up.
Wow.
Them Yukons don't have no sills that don't go all the way up.
It might have
I've
pushed the back
never
one, though.
blown. Yeah, I've never broke a window. I got real fortunate. I was in a '69 Super Beetle with a 215s in the back, and they were facing the back. And the guy heard something rattle. He walks around back. He walks around and carries my back windshield around in the front of the car with him. It popped out and he caught it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was crazy.
Well, I seen the video of Scott
MTX
up
2 on
there.
tricks.
Yeah, I seen the video of Scott by the window popping out. Like, dude, yo, my guy. Get
Dude,
away
I'm
from
sitting
there,
there
too
like, I'm
close.
like my face.
Whack,
Like,
whack, whack, whack,
dude,
whack.
I had like 4 cold snacks back to back, and I was like, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was I didn't want to look like a bitch because I just tapped out of Casey's truck because he was doing an outlaw run where he had I was sitting in the passengers because the baseboards will let you fill up people in your cabin. So like if you could fit multiple people, you know, you're just gonna score higher. So like we threw me in the passenger seat. Casey was doing outlaw with the driver door open, the passenger side sealed up. I've said it before. I literally felt my freaking brain move, dude. I felt like the vein on the side of my head like roll. And it was like inside my brain. I was like, dude, I'm good. So Jonathan Resendez, he hopped in, and that's when I was like holding the door for him. And then it was like, I knew this was a bad move because I'm sitting here looking at the scene. It's like,
it's good.
at my face.
Yeah.
I know. I noticed mine
flapped
starting to
pretty bad.
flap a little bit more because I play a little bit higher, and it's not that it doesn't do the windy stuff anymore, but now it plays a little bit more authority in that 20 to 23 hertz range, and that's where my window starts doing that thing. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of new. That's nice. And then that's probably gonna break eventually.
The flex I want to get more ear flop, and I want to get more nose going.
Speaking of ear
Yeah.
flop. My ears are perfect for it, okay? I tested this Sunday. I didn't think it was a thing. I was sitting in my buddy's car. He has 218s. It was on one of the demo video that I posted like two weeks back with the system blowing up. Well, it was my buddy Josh Daly. And, you know, we're bass heads. We know where to sit in the window to get the most wind. I'm sitting there. He's like, dude, your ears. And they're just going choo, 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 choo.
You know who's got the best ear flap in the business, right?
Who's that?
JP, man.
His new build is ear flapping like nobody's
His
business.
ear, he got like it doesn't matter what demo he's in. If it's ear flap worthy, his ears are gonna be flapping.
I can't.
I thought he was
I
gonna
never
take
really
off.
noticed that, but I could see it. I could see
Yeah.
it now. I could see it.
The best ear flap in the business.
I want more.
We're
ear
not
flap.
saying you got big ears, JP. It's okay. I'm right there
I
with you.
got
bud.
big ears, but
Yeah.
I can't handle it that loud. I'll tell you what. So I set in the card. I think they call it the silver bullet.
Mhm.
The old.
The wood one.
Yeah. So, like, they'll take you to like 15 hertz, but then they'll also sweep it up to like 60 on a song. And 60, it's like, oh my god, like, yo, let me out of here, man. This 60
That's
is
what-
brutal.
Yeah, I tell a lot of people that, you know, Rob Struck's the same way and all that stuff too. Is like mine will play the high, which I'm not like, you know, 60 plus at those higher notes, but
Yeah.
like, you know, high 150s, I'm not even comfortable with that. I'm like, oh, make funky folks and stuff like that. I'm like, I just want to play lows because that doesn't fatigue me the whole day. So like, if I'm gonna be sitting here, now don't get me wrong, somebody hops in that I want to impress, you know, I'll give them the sauce at a higher note, but majority of the day is like 21 to 29 and just flopping around. And the subs stay cool, my voltage stays up. I don't want to take and fatigue myself and have my ears ringing and headache before you know it and all that stuff.
It's a different
I did that
experience at the
15
higher
hertz.
range, man.
True.
It is.
I can't do the 15
I did
hertz.
at 15 hertz. I'm here Trick City there.
I can play it, you know, but I gotta do like I gotta have like one window down and stuff like that. I can't play with the doors open. I mean, it'll play, you just don't hear anything. It's just mechanical noise. It doesn't have a lot of wind. Like under like 17, that falls up hard. But
Same.
Yeah, the higher
Yeah, I do that.
frequencies are cool to like just show someone what it can do.
Mhm.
Like okay, you felt this seems cool. Now get ready to get hurt for a minute because
Oh, sure.
coming. Yeah.
You want to feel like Jello real fast?
Yeah.
Here.
my biggest thing, like the last couple of days, which I know a lot of people are notorious for it, but the sandbag, the intro of the thing was the bass drops. Like, you know, it's like quarter cracked bass knob, and they're like, oh gosh, yeah. And you're like, ha ha ha. Poof, you know, yeah.
But wait, there's more.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Our buddy, sorry, Robs. I didn't know I was cutting you off or
What's
anything like that, but yeah, I didn't know if I was cutting you
Oh,
off,
okay.
but yeah, we had a guy show up last
No.
night that one of the Snap-on guys, Jimmy, he wraps cars, and this guy showed up in a Mustang, and I did the same thing where like I was like, hey, you want to check this out? And he was like mind blown at like quarter bass or whatever. And I was like, oh, you're about to get it, son. But then I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah.
I threw out Belfuego's comment. I thought that was pretty funny. How do you determine the resonant frequency of a body part?
You can
When
feel
it
it.
falls off.
Yeah.
When it falls off.
Right.
I back the screws out of my door. At the tweeters I have in my doors, if I roll the window up on the passenger side and leave my driver's side down, the tweeters will actually back the screws out of the door.
Wow. So it isn't a myth. Base actually unscrews and does those things to bolts and nuts and screws.
Absolutely.
I always thought that. I'm like, man, I'm missing bolts. Like back in the Cobalt days, like 2010 for me. And it's like, man, where are these bolts? Where are they going? Like they're just falling off. And I guess it's just from base. It's just that vibration. It's just shimmying them off. And it's like crazy to think about that actually happens to your car. So maybe you should use Loctite on every single bolt, Scott.
Well, I watch it do it. I watch it do it, and I'm like, okay, well, they're all on the floorboard now. So, and my tweeters over here it actually ripped the wires off the back of the tweeter, and it was just spinning in the door.
Damn.
That's at 15 hertz with the window. I can't play 15 hertz with the windows up. It's too violent. It's way too violent.
Yeah, because I know with low notes like that, you can't even try to play with the windows up. It just doesn't resonate whatsoever, and it's just you're both windows down when you can play that because you got the 6, right?
Right. I can play with the windows down. Even with the doors open, I can play 15 hertz. I can float
that makes sense.
The doorways with the doors open.
What's your ported side, your first ported side tuned to, like 26 or something like that?
It's 27, and the front port's 45. So
okay, well that's why you getting down, and it's like probably close to a 1-to-1 ratio more than anything.
I think it's I think so. I don't remember.
Knowing Jake is probably closer
the
to
magic sauce for them lows. It's the magic sauce.
Knowing Jake is probably closer to a 2-to-1 being straight up with you, or a 2-to-1.
So like a negative ratio almost, like a bigger first chamber and a smaller
steel chamber, bigger top chamber.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't put the subs in correctly because they bottom out in the bottom of the box. So they have to be inverted.
So you have them inverted to gain some airspace, right? I just seen a lot of builds, at least locally to me, with the Josh Daly, he only has 218s. He's doing like freaking 53s at like 19-20 hertz. It's like it's pretty nice. And then Chaz, he's doing 61, 62 at like 25, 26 hertz. But they can play that low frequency like I can and Rob down here. And it's just, I feel like with the band passes, it gives you a lot more flexibility for loading and unloading, so you can play with both your doors open. Scott, you're just a little different because you're in that C-pillar. You don't need to be wide open because you got a lot of cabin to fill up too, and just how the wavelengths work, man. Physics, science.
If I'm playing above 20 hertz, it actually loves the front doors open. I don't like playing with the front doors open that much because my dash is just like flopping around. It does with the doors open. I have to have the doors open or a pair of windows down. It doesn't matter which combination. It'll be pair of windows down. It'll be crazy windy out of those two. One side, the front's down, whatever it be. And if I'm playing higher stuff, I can do all 4 windows down. But like the 20 hertz range, it's got to be a pair of windows with the doors open.
Scott, have you tried it with front windows up, back windows down?
All the time, yeah. We do it when there's people, if there's chicks in the back seat that are getting demos and they got hair down, I'll just roll my, because it's going to make it louder in the front too, because it makes that, so like the person up front's going to get the sauce then, and the person that are sitting in the back seats, they get the crazy wind.
Get the wind.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I was wondering how that worked with a C-pillar. I liked it with the Volvo with just a regular, ported enclosure.
I have noticed watching Scott's videos, he's actually getting lower now. The more he plays them and breaks them in, he's getting way lower. He's getting way windier than he was.
Absolutely.
I haven't played like low in a while. I haven't tried really below 20. I gave a pretty good demos. I went to O'Reilly's to get a headlight bulb on the way in. That's the reason I was late today. And the guy was like, man, he saw the sundown stickers. Like, man, I bet you his lab's got sundown stickers on it. I'm like, come check it out, buddy. Like, let's do this.
I can't.
He was doing good hair tricks. He was doing really good hair tricks.
Yeah, it was a guy and his buddy, and I was like, hey, because he had a hat on. I'm like, take your hat off. I was like, fluff your hair, bro. I was like, get in here, turn your back to that window, and we'll stick your buddy in the back seat. But my bad, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, boy, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's like 21 hertz, something like that.
And the thing is, you're starting to get hair tricks sitting straight in your truck. Even you got ear flap going on sitting right there.
Yeah, I can.
So you're getting down now.
if I play like the 21 to 23, if I'm like closer to the doors and like that, it'll start flopping. I've noticed now though, it's surprising me because like like you'll notice little like you're saying with your glass being different. Like, oh, that's new. I was with those when I added the caps in the bank, when I added the capacitors in, I've noticed like a great change on those fast beats, like the really quick beats have a lot more. They're a lot more punchy than they were.
Punchier.
Yeah, I was like my nose now was doing this little number on the high notes. I was like, damn, that's awesome. But dude, I know like you see the people post all the time, but Jesus Murphy, guys, capacitors with lithium is like the bee's knees. Yeah, like super win. So like I went from 70 amp hour to 140 amp hour, and then I added 1,000 farads of capacitance on top of it. And
are you using the IX? Which capacitor are you using?
I'm using the SB 650 or 640, the 31, the 640, whatever the capacity is of the regular super cap, and then I'm doing the UC31 in the rear.
Okay, nice.
It's so weird how farads work because I looked into it a little bit. It's like you got to wire a couple in parallel, and then when you wire them in series, you lose half your farad. You know, it's like different. And so 1,000 farad.
It's the same way as a battery. The battery works the same exact way. If you wire, so if you have 6-volt cells and you series them, you gain the voltage, but you don't gain amp hours.
Right. So
Yeah.
so the capacity in the farad is almost the same as the amp hour in a battery.
And I didn't mean series; I meant parallel. But yeah.
Yeah, I knew what you were saying. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, look who decided to show up today. How's that serpentine water pump doing?
Oh, dude, it's doing good.
Good.
Yeah. I've been chipping away at little things here. Who won Scrapyard Base for us? I gotta know.
I don't know actually who won. I think Andy won 2 out of Andy won 2 of them, so I guess Andy won.
Oh wow.
It was kind of funny. We let Casey down. He came over to Joe's house the other day, and we're like, dude, your water pump is making a terrible freaking noise, dude. Like, you need to change that thing. He's like, no way.
It was pretty bad, too.
Yeah.
It actually started leaking coolant today. Like, today's the first day, yeah. So now it's brand new. We're all good.
Yeah, who needs a water pump
anyway? And I've been doing some stuff.
We'll blow him up. Oh, fuck. I pulled him back out. Whoops.
Here, let me see. I'll do it. Where's he at? Oh, you got him. Cool.
There he is.
There we go.
You got the tablet.
Nice. I like the light rings around the doors there.
Yeah, I've been listening to FLAC music. So I put an 80 PRS in. Boom. And
you're not a bass head if you don't have 80 PRS.
Are you going for sound quality now?
The 80 PRS literally fucks off. So I switched it from a 4600 AX, and I put this in here, and like the difference was mind blowing. I didn't think it would be that much of a difference. And we used to use them all the time when I was at Sound Sensation. So it's not like
clean. DSP in, DSP out, clean in, clean out.
Yeah, man.
Starts from the beginning.
And the Salt 200x4 bridge on
great.
these Neos is insane. These Neos have so much mid bass. I took a lot of it out.
That's what a lot of people realize too, and I think when it comes to a lot of the sound, people realize too. It comes to the same thing with the amps. A lot of these crossovers or DSP chips, they'll have their own profiles from the manufacturer already on it to give it a specific sound they want, or the crossover slopes they want, stuff like that. And a lot of times too, it's not. I'm not going to say it's not the DAC and stuff like that, but it's a lot of these companies that really have good chipsets and stuff like that on the boards to give it that unique sound or the filtering they want. And heck yeah, I'm glad you got a good gain on the 80 PRS. I'm just hoping my Kenwood just keeps holding out for a couple more years, bro. Don't die, please.
Kenwood for the win, man.
Was giving up, man. It was just getting beat up so hard. How's everybody else doing? Scott, I'll talk to you today. Andy, Vega, Rob.
I'm doing good. These guys are doing pretty good too, man. We're just hanging out, and I just wanted to say, thank you guys for bringing me on the show. I made a post on Facebook. This is my 1 year with you guys. So this is just awesome. And Casey, I'm glad you jumped on last minute so you could be here. So
sorry guys.
See, I was thinking I'm using this to our advantage right now because 12V Talk being like biannually episodes now, we're gonna catch up to like that 130 mark real quick.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So it's actually like Wednesday night's actually open now. Actually, I think we might be able to steal that spot if we had. I wouldn't do that.
There you go, man.
Hey, Dad, I can't work Wednesdays now either. What?
Yeah.
No, we'll take it. We're not going to change the time slot or whatever. But yeah. I don't know. It was cool. Are you guys having fun getting back in? I don't expect 12B Talk to go back to a weekly thing, but it seems like it's pretty good time, and you can enjoy it if you start doing it, not as regular and stuff like that. Because there's a point where you and D were like doing, or especially you were doing like streams more nights of the week than not.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I quit Sound Advice, because we were doing all 3, and then got down to 2, and then Derek was just getting burnt out with work and life and everything. It was like, let's just take a break, man. And whenever I was like, you tell me when you're ready to come back, we'll do it. And if not, then we've done it for so many years that I think we've done enough. So now it's just we're in a situation where we're just like, well, we feel like doing it, and it's fun.
Sure.
Right.
And you got the good stuff going with Dean now too, man. I really enjoyed the side jag and all that stuff too. It's fun.
Yeah.
Whenever you do something freelance, you do enjoy it more. I like the once a month kind of thing, but it doesn't have to be, oh, well, it's been 4 weeks, let's do it this week, for sure.
Right.
I like how you're doing, but you got to let me know. I don't care about anybody else. You got to let me know, Rob, when you guys are going live next.
I didn't even know. The same thing here. I was driving home the other night, and I just happened to open my YouTube, and it was like the top, the very one at the top was there live. I was like, shit, that was already like 20 minutes into it or whatever. I was like, it didn't even get a notification or nothing. YouTube's on it sometimes. Sometimes I'll get like 5, like the freaking kicker one. I'll get like 30 minutes away, going live now, all that stuff. And then the people you want to see, which I'm not saying I don't want to see kicker, but like the smaller guys, like you don't get the notifications. Or I'll get it like an hour after the stream is done. Like Hi-Fi Vega was live, and I'm like, what the fuck? Tell me when.
They'll do it. They'll do it like 3 days later sometimes. And I think honestly, it has something to do with because Kicker pays for some ads, YouTube ads, and I think that's why Kickers is always on it because they pay for ads. So
I can see that.
The algorithm too. They post shorts. They post they go live, and it's just a lot of stuff. And 12 Volt Talk, you guys only did go live once a week, if anything. But it was now it's like you haven't went live in a while. We haven't clicked on it. YouTube's like, they don't care about it. And that's how you get lost real fast.
It's a treat, man. That's what. See what we did. I was like, I'm not even gonna post nothing. Whoever shows up, they'll know they're the real OGs, and if they don't show up, well,
touche.
Sorry,
what are you
guys.
trying to say here, Rob? What are you trying to Come on, man.
Well, if it's like ours, though, man, I don't know if you noticed it, which ours is totally in a different standpoint than you guys are because we're still growing it. But, like, our viewer count will flip a lot. Like, this week we've got most of the people that are on YouTube. Some weeks it'll be all on Facebook and stuff like that. I think I need to do a better job, and I was telling Andy and these guys, too. I need to make it where it's not posting to my Facebook Live and make people go to the YouTube and the Facebook page to see the live streams versus everyone going to just like my page, like my personal page and doing it or whatever.
Right.
But
and we quit doing Facebook because for us, Facebook's a lot of give, take. And it's like we'll push towards YouTube because it's a platform we're already used to, and it was just it was a nightmare messing with Facebook. So.
All we got was 18 minutes on Facebook today. I went back and looked at it after the 18-minute mark. We dropped out on Facebook, which I don't know why. Not that it matters. It'll still be up in other places.
Yeah. Dude, we're gonna be seeing Rob tomorrow about noon.
Yeah, we've already covered that one too. Yeah, coming up about the
fun.
Lunchtime.
A lot of work in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
I just want to share this brace again.
Would you look at that?
Would you just look at that?
Would you just look at that?
That looks real nice. It makes you want to look at it.
So my dome light, when you open the door, is this, the bar, and then those now. So
see, that's the next thing I need to do is lights inside, like in front. I have them. I just need to do them.
It's really nice.
Go ahead, man.
If you're like us, though, stuff like that, like I'm like Casey. I'll leave it in like a stagnant, really neutral color. It looks nice and bright and lit up and all that stuff. Yeah. People don't give a shit unless you have it on like RGB nightclub neon mode. Like, what if you look at a video count difference, like the views? If it's on a solid color versus Rainbow Nightmare, dude, it's a big difference.
Rainbow Nightmare,
yeah, dude.
Name of my band.
I found out. I've been running dark blue when I do videos at night, and I don't get a whole lot of views. But I run a turquoise color the other night, and I had one video get 23,000 views. In a week. Yeah. 23K.
Blowing up on TikTok.
Rob is big on TikTok. Yeah. But it's cool. I can't wait for us to get to milk the feedback of your truck going down. So we're gonna get your truck done this weekend, and then whenever the next base meet in South Georgia is, we'll be doing that. I don't know if you probably know anything about it, Rob, but other Rob here, he actually runs a base meet in South Georgia for the most part, and it's growing like freaking fast, dude. Like there's a bunch of people turning out for that thing. It's pretty sick.
We had like
Monday.
70 or 80 people last weekend, and Cigar Joe showed up and beat down the block down there. It was ginormous crowd
Wow.
for us.
Oh, we're
Nice.
going, dude. As soon as I'm going and Scott fixes his baffle, whatever the fuck's going on, we're coming.
You know, it's
We're
funny.
coming.
You know, Casey, it's funny you say that because I was like last night when we put the battery in, I'm like, guys, I got to fix that lower chamber brace. I'm not going to beat on it. You know what I did all
Immediately
day?
goes full tilt.
I beat on it all day long, dude.
It was like sucking
Yeah.
me into the port, dude. Definitely gained with all the lithium and oh shit, don't strong down. Definitely gained. Like it seemed just a lot stronger.
Mhm.
Like that's Super Cat, man. Those things are awesome. I didn't realize you put the one that looked like an actual battery in there. I thought you were doing like the Jumpstart one, which now you're adding that. It's gonna be real solid. So
Yeah. And again, like what I could instantly go from 15 volts to like 11.9, I can just stay in the high 14s now, which is pretty sick. And like
you didn't
again,
even hit 14 yesterday.
it showed 14.0 on the base knob. It didn't ever
Oh,
show
that's
14 on the
right,
dash
that's right.
yet.
I don't know why I'm thinking you're at 15.9. That's just stupid. Yeah.
No,
I think our next base meet is going to be Slamology, though, for all of
Oh,
us.
we're ready. Yeah. As soon as I get some amps and I put my port back in, load the subs, this will be a whole different view.
You still have
Oh,
one
yeah.
good amp, did you? Are you send them both back out, or you still have the one good one?
No, they're both gone, dude. I have no amps. They're holding them hostage. We'll see. They're supposed to be here any day, so
They'll be your Force Slam.
yeah.
But yeah, on that note, guys, Andy's got a live stream coming up
Oh.
a little bit. What's your schedule for tonight, Andy? What's the topic of conversation?
Pretty much just talking about the show that I went to this Sunday and just I don't know, just everything that I've been kind of doing this week and Slamology, man. I don't know. That's the most on my schedule, and I got another bass show next weekend. So for Team SP Loud, so I'm pretty booked.
I heard that. Speaking of Slam, Rob, are you or Becca? We got two Robs.
Yeah.
Are you going to be at Slamology again?
No, we're going on cruise.
Oh, that's cool too, I guess.
He's gonna
Yeah,
drive the boat up there. He'll be
Yeah.
there on Sunday.
I want to go. I will go to Slam at some point, just because it's like the biggest car show, but not this year.
Yeah.
Do you think
Oh,
we'll make
we
it?
saw you at Sundown last year.
Sundown, right?
Yeah. Are you going to be on that?
No, probably.
Oh,
But
Ruckus and Chill?
well, it's all East Coast, man. Like the last one I went because I was just happened to be
Star neighbor.
hanging out with Derek that time, so that's where like, hey, the Sundown show's here. We'll just hang out, check out the Sundown show. I will be. There's a big show in Searcy, Arkansas called Wake the Dead in like October. I'll be at that.
we're going to
sure.
try to make that too, I think. That's a
Yeah.
great show, man.
Yeah.
We miss it every year. So I think it's time we just make the trip and go.
We need to
It's
just
fun.
get a hauler and haul our freaking trucks out there.
I'm going to drive these things, man. These things are meant to be driven.
Let's
do this.
Can
Not
they drive?
mine.
Yes. Can it be driven? Sure. Do
Yeah.
I want to sit in the excursion for 12 hours at a time? And I'm like,
Yeah, it's a recliner.
It is a yeah, you get sleepy. I'm like, I'm sitting in a
It's a
lazy boy. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. AC
Well,
I'm trying to
drive.
get a car dolly myself just so I can bring my nice Pilot. You know, the limousine, it just pack the kids in and stretch, heated seats, everything you need. Instead of getting in that cram, Cookie Monster. I mean, it's not bad right now. I got it kind of situated where I got a little bit more leg room, so you guys might be able to fit a little bit better this time.
If Cookie Monster is anything like my Corvette was, like it's comfortable for like an hour and a half, and then you're like switching ass cheeks in the car, and you're like, oh, get me out of this thing, dude.
And now
my
I
cruise-
get my toes.
My cruise control don't even work anymore because my
Oh, mine
speedo
don't.
doesn't work. So it's like it'll never work.
I finally got my AC fixed. I was riding around in all this heat with no AC, and I finally got it fixed today.
That's no bueno in the
I couldn't do
South,
the
man.
no AC. Couldn't do
AC
it.
is mandatory. You could live without a heater. AC is mandatory.
Oh,
Couldn't
yeah.
do it.
I don't know how you
Before we
guys
go.
do it with a build with no AC. It's just I get it. You run out of space,
That's my key.
and just like, well, there's a pulley for another alternator, but
I'm gonna evac and recharge mine before Slam because we're at the Slam the last 2 years. I left the truck running literally for like 2 days straight, and the first day it kept up good. The second day it was kind of like lukewarm. So I'm gonna give her a good old pump and dump on the Freon. But on
There's
that
nothing
note,
like getting a base demo sweaty.
oh
Oh,
sure.
God.
Well,
You,
no,
you had a seal that was kind of leaking some green stuff when we were at the last show, and I was like, Scott, I think you're leaking something over there. The whole firewall is just flexing on that thing, dude. It's just everything.
no, it is.
God,
I
his
think
it's-
bumpers
yeah.
are stupid.
it's
Yeah,
ripped.
just flexing the front bumper.
Yeah, I think it's rigged. I'm not even joking. I'm scared. Like, I'm scared to take the dash out because I'm pretty positive firewall's rigged, to be honest with you. Because, like, the brake master cylinder's like it's flat. Dude, I emptied the brake master cylinder from how much it was flexing, and I'm like, oh, that's not good, dude.
With them used, I actually vibrate the brake foot out of my master cylinder, and it's always around the edge and leaking down.
Yeah.
I just don't check mine.
Dude, Mullen, so I'll be at I'll be across from Andy he's at Kicker, I'll be at Sky High. I'm planning on getting drunk and blowing some shit, if not getting the best demos I can. Like, because I'm going to leave the vehicle there, which means I am allowed to get inebriated because I'm not driving anymore.
Yeah.
So like, I'm going to get me, like, my freaking, I was going to say some girly drink, can't think of it. What's the freaking, what's the, like, yeah, no, not Seagrams. What's the, like, the screwdriver things and all that stuff? I was making a joke.
White Claw? I don't know.
I pegged you for a White Claw guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a White Claw guy.
Smirnoff.
Yeah,
Smirnoff Ice. There we go. See?
Right.
I hammered down 3 Red's Apple Tall Boys, and I am fucked up, dude. Like,
He's a cheap date.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, give me a little shot of Fireball with it too, like some apple
There you
cider,
go.
and I'll be trash, dude.
Fireball.
I will hard
Let's do
flip
it.
the dog snot out of that system. I don't care. But yeah, on that note, guys, Andy's gonna go live in a few minutes. Other Rob, I appreciate you guys joining us. Generally, you guys kind of saved the night for us, so it wasn't just me and Andy in here clapping hands. And
Yeah,
my bad.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this bad boy up, guys. Tune over back in the Living Loud with Andy on Facebook and YouTube. He's gonna be going live in a little bit, and again going over a show and stuff like that. And Scrapyard Base Wars, Andy again's victorious. Congratulations to you, buddy, and we'll get this thing going again soon. And I appreciate everybody. Have a fantastic night and weekend, and no drinking and driving.
Yes. No.